This is Boomer Life on CL 650.
Welcome back to the program. It's Sterling Fox with you this Saturday morning, talking to the folks from ShannonOaks. And, well, this is where it gets interesting. Jillian Fullerton is with us. Jillian is a sales and marketing manager with Baptist Housing and also a team member at ShannonOaks and a regular appearance on Boomer Life. But we have a return appearance from one of your friends from ShannonOaks and a debut. So why don't you introduce our guest to our listeners?
We do indeed have a return resident. And she is Olive Farah, and some of you may remember her. She's full of life, and we've brought her on again with her good friend, Perry Cootie. So Olive and Perry have been residents at ShannonOaks for, I'm not sure how many years.
This is
4 for Perry.
10th year coming up in
10th
January.
for Perry, 4th for Perry, and 10th for Olive.
Olive, welcome back to the show. It's great to see you again.
Nice to be here.
Does it feel like 10 years?
No, it doesn't. I'm having a good time. Having a good time, you know.
And Perry, welcome to Boomer Life. It's nice to meet you.
Thank you.
How long have you lived at ShannonOaks?
4 years.
Okay. Tell us a little bit about your story. What brought you to ShannonOaks?
Well, after my husband passed away,
okay,
I had to go to a residence, and my daughter-in-law drove me when she was driving me towards ShannonOaks. I said, no, I can't go there. It's just too far.
Oh,
and she said, well, we made an appointment, therefore we will have to go. So we did. And we were welcomed at the front door, and we had lunch, and she picked up her phone and went around the corner, and she phoned her husband, and she said, this is it. And I said, this is it.
Oh, really?
You said it to her.
And she said this to her husband, this is it.
And how long did it take you from the time you walked into ShannonOaks, and you said you had lunch?
Lovely lunch.
And I assume you got a tour.
And water, and water on the table. And it was just a tablecloth. It was very impressive. Yeah.
I've had lunch there. It is impressive. It's
very nice.
Tasty, too, isn't
it? Yes. Yeah, you can put on a few pounds. The desserts are very tempting.
I agree.
And you won't put on the pounds if you go to the exercise
classes. I have no problem. I do exercises at home.
Good.
So your daughter took you to ShannonOaks. Now, had she...
My daughter-in-law.
Okay, so now you had decided clearly that once your husband had passed away that you were going to make the move to a seniors community?
No, I had already been in a residence.
Oh, I see.
And I didn't want to be there, but my husband liked it. When he passed away, I left.
Oh, okay. You wanted to move to another place.
Yes, another residence.
So you started shopping around. How many places did you look at, Perry, before you decided on ShannonOaks?
Several.
Oh, okay.
My son wasn't too pleased with me.
But good for you for comparison shopping and getting out there and kicking the tires, so to speak.
I'd say, no, take me home.
Oh, really?
No, take me home. And he said, well, it's all right. It's okay.
What was it that convinced you that ShannonOaks was the one for you?
When I walked in the front door.
What was it when you walked in?
Fireplace, Beth was there, and it was just lovely.
Oh, isn't that lovely?
Welcome, you know. And then when she took me around, left me with Carrie. It was just, it was very, very home.
Yeah.
Soft.
Warm.
Yes.
Yeah.
You walk in the lobby of ShannonOaks, and the first thing you see is that big, massive beam over the front door that says, Welcome home.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's after the birds, of course, off to the left.
Yes.
When you walk in, you see that's the first thing you see.
I spent a lot of time with the birds, and I guess I have a bird brain because she says, get a life.
Now, Olive, what took you? It's been a while since you've had a visit with us here on Boomer Life.
Yes,
Tell us your story. How did you come to be steered in the general direction of ShannonOaks 10 years ago?
Well, it was a little different with me, Sterling, because my husband when we sold our condo.
Mm-hmm.
My husband and I, we just felt the condo was too big, and when the real estate agent sold our place, I said to him, what are we going to do now? And his office, as it happened to be, is across the street at Killarney Place there. And he says, try ShannonOaks. You're going to love it. I've sent other people there. And we came, and there happened to be a 2-bedroom apartment available. it just seemed it seemed like everything fell into place, and that's where we
So
moved.
so you decided you went and just sold the condo, and you just come
what
what
are we
may
gonna-
after that.
That's right.
Step one was sell the condo.
Right, and the people that bought our place bought a lot of our furniture, so the downsizing, it was no problem. And if there was a problem, my kids stepped in and took over, and voila.
Oh, you were lucky that way. Now, Perry, in your case, you had already lived in a retirement community. So again, downsizing wasn't going to be the big deal that it is for so many others.
I had already done it because I lived in White Rock for 22 years.
Oh, okay.
So therefore, I had already done it. And like a lot of new people, I comfort them and tell them that I was here 2 years and I was still looking for things, because they beat me in the elevator and say, I can't find anything.
Right.
And I said, that's quite all right. I said, I'm still looking, and I've been here for 2 years.
Now, you told me a story. We had a chance to have a cup of hot water. I was going to say tea. These ladies insisted on hot water, which is fine by me. There's more tea bags for us next week. But over our delicious cup of hot water, you were telling us a story. And Perry, how you and Olive came to be friends at ShannonOaks, because you arrived into this new community after your husband had passed away. Olive, you had moved to ShannonOaks with your husband, and during the first few years, he also passed away.
Right.
And as it turns out, the men in your lives died within about 6 months of each other.
That's right.
And you were able to find each other and take great comfort from that new friendship.
I think perhaps we were grieving at the same time, but we were getting out of it, sort of. We were helping each other, and we didn't realize it.
Right.
She noticed at our table we were having more fun, and she moved in over at our table.
and been together ever since. A lot of nonsense.
A lot of nonsense.
Yeah.
These two get into more trouble at ShannonOaks.
Nice trouble.
If you ever have anything that requires a costume, you know that these two are going to be dressed to the nines.
Okay.
Halloween, this just a few weeks ago. Well, a week ago.
Yeah.
It was amazing. Both Perry and Olive were dressed to the nines and brought a lot of spirit into the whole community.
And when we were talking about the open house coming up in a few weeks in December, and Perry, when we talked about this over our delicious cup of hot water, you were saying, "Oh my gosh, the crowds are crazy. People
They
come to these. It's a big deal,
and they stay. They like the cakes and they like the atmosphere, and they come as families.
Right?
Yes.
It's not all
With
elderly
little children.
people. No, families with children, and it's just an atmosphere where it's Christmas, beautifully
festive.
decorated,
Right.
and they really, of course, our activity managers, they are absolutely wonderful whenever they decorate for every occasion, and therefore the Christmas is just outstanding.
Now, Olive, would you say that popping in for one of those open houses is a good idea, just to kind of get at least a bit of a taste of what life in a seniors community is like?
I think it's a good idea. Yes.
Yeah.
It's good to stop and meet them and tell them a little bit about ShannonOaks.
Right.
Nothing to be feared of.
No.
And
we're not prepared. When Jillian is walking around with people, we just say hello, and she introduces us. And
You people, the residents at ShannonOaks, are our best salespeople.
I agree.
I would say.
They are amazing because they just are so welcoming and warm. And we had a marketing function with some entertainment, and we invited people to it who were thinking about moving to ShannonOaks. They sat in the audience with the rest of the residents, and then the residents told us to go away. They go away, and they took them to their suites, and we would sit back, and they're doing, they're doing our work, which is great.
Right.
Yeah.
I have to tell you one story too that happened. I had a mother and daughter touring for their mother, and when I finished the tour with them, they left, and the mother phoned me back later and said, "You know what my daughter said when we were leaving?" She turned to me and she said, "Mom, do you think they pay people to be happy at ShannonOaks?" I mean, it's just that way. We'd
have a lot of money.
That's right. You two would be loaded.
Yeah, that's right.
But I can remember when my tour of Shannon Oaks, the same
Yeah.
thing with Sharon,
Yeah.
showing me,
Yeah.
and just spontaneous, well, hello
Yeah.
there. People just come right out of the woodwork
Yeah.
and shake your hand and say hello, and everybody's an ambassador for the place, and nobody's on the payroll for being happy to live there. That's the nice part
nothing
about
to
it.
hide.
There's
Nothing-
no pretense there.
No.
There's no pretense. It's just natural. It's just caring.
Yes.
I'd like to say, when you're widowed, it's a little different. Your life changes, like completely.
Mm-hmm.
And what you thought you had, when you thought you had a lot of friends, it just changes because you're the one person, single.
Yeah.
And there's no inviting. You know what I'm
and
saying?
the old social circle used to be all
That's
about
right.
couples.
Well, couples, yes.
Yes.
Right, right.
And at Shannon Oaks, you can either sit in your apartment and be moody and mope, or you can join in and just have a cup of tea or coffee. That's what it will start out to be.
Sure.
And then, do you want to go shopping? Do you want to go to the show?
Yeah.
Right.
It just...
And that's what you two do
But
a lot of.
Olive is very generous
Yes.
with everybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she walks the talk or the talk of the walk or whatever it is. She does.
But all of your point is well taken. When you become widowed, and you've been through this as well, your life changes in many ways that perhaps you didn't even expect.
No.
Even if there's been an illness and you're sort of kind of prepared as best you can be, when it happens, it's still a traumatic event, and there's still a void that's just this huge gaping black hole. And you're right, a lot of your friends just aren't there anymore.
That's right.
And in many cases because they don't know what to say.
Yeah, and I don't want to bother I didn't want to bother the kids for anything. They're busy. They have their own lives.
So you created your own life at Shannon Oaks.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
And the children, they grieve differently.
Yes.
And get on with it. And we grieve more, and
course.
so because this is it for us. And also when you've had a long marriage, I was married 65 years.
Wow.
I was 62.
Wow.
There you go.
Okay.
So it's like cutting an arm off.
Sure, of course.
You've got this friend and it's gone.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we kind of got together and good friends. Yeah.
And the kids, when they phone, where the heck have you been? I've been trying to get you. You're never home.
Right.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm living my life. I'm having a good time.
Well, and you see now, there's now, and we were talking about this earlier, the myths surrounding this whole seniors community retirement living. One of the myths is that you go to one of those places and you forfeit your independence. Somebody's there with a clipboard and they're going to just chase you around and micromanage every minute of every day. You won't have a moment's peace.
No.
So I mean, but
true.
this is the myth, and you've heard this. This is not the first time you've heard this either.
No.
People think that.
Yeah.
So help straighten that one out, will you?
If you're in the lounge or going somewhere, nobody says where you're going.
Right.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
No.
But you don't have to explain to anybody
No.
what you're doing. You can sleep in the morning.
Yeah.
You don't have to go down for breakfast. You have it in your own place. You
Sure.
can hang around in your robe. It's just your life is your own.
Right.
You do, huh?
Yeah.
So do I, but different hours.
Now you talked about family, children and grandchildren.
Yes.
Yeah,
Can they
great-grandchildren.
And great-grandchildren, of course. Now, can they come by and visit Grandma?
Anytime, I have them for lunch periodically.
Oh, nice.
And you're lucky.
When I'm available.
You're lucky. It's only lunch. Mine come and stay because they're out of town.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, so they can. And,
We have a lovely, very, very lovely apartment for the guests.
Okay.
Several.
Guest suite.
How
We have
many?
a couple
Three?
of them. We have two, and we can use the
Yes.
And where
Yeah.
does your family come in from then?
My daughter lives in Switzerland.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes, and she's been here just several, but she wasn't staying here. But normally she stays with me in an apartment.
Right.
And then my other daughter is at Niagara-on-the-Lake, so she's arriving on the 9th for a week.
Oh, nice.
So they visit
That's
me
nice.
because I find it right now I don't want to travel.
And you can put them up. Isn't that
They're there.
now again?
Yeah.
That's another myth about these seniors'
there.
places. You know,
Beautiful.
you have to go stay in a hotel, and you get to go over and visit them and have breakfast with them. Then you go back to your home. Nonsense. They
No.
stay right where you are.
And they're beautifully.
They can stay in your suite too.
That's
if
true.
you want.
Yeah.
Yes, but I don't have any
Yeah.
room. But
Yeah.
the thing is that it's all right. They like
Yeah.
give them their
Yeah.
privacy.
Yeah.
But it's I love it there.
Good.
The kids don't have to worry about mom.
No.
I'll tell you that right
they
now.
look
They're
for us.
not worried
We're-
about me. In fact, I
yeah.
asked my son just the other day. Well, the good thing is because not some of the kids have another mother-in-law, you know, that's not doing very well. They don't have to worry about me. I said, you know, I can. You just live your life. When you want to see me or call,
Make
talk
an
to me on the
appointment.
phone. Yeah, that's right.
Make an appointment.
I have a son that lives here. My daughter-in-law. You see, she's the one that.
That took you there in the first
yes,
place, right?
Yes. So my son is here for me because the girls aren't here.
Oh, great.
And it works out fine because I have to respect his life. And but he's very, very kind and very good to me, and always constantly watching out for me.
Nice.
And he visits, yeah.
Need to take a quick break here on Boomer Life as we continue with our conversation about ShannonOaks in Vancouver. I recommend the website during our quick time out at ShannonOaks.com, and you can click on Victoria and check out the Oak Bay location, or you can go and see where Olive and Perry live on Waverly Avenue here in East Vancouver. ShannonOaks.com. It's Boomer Life on CIL 650 with lots more still ahead. We'll be right back.
Celebrating the baby boomer lifestyle. This is Boomer Life on CIL 650.